Hey, North Shore Pump, the mainstream news media has been lying to you about what's going on in our local housing market. I'll break that down in your July housing market update. What is going on, party people? My name is Chris Elliott. I'm a local realtor, a Wyndham resident, and I've sold over 550 homes in the Central Virginia area since 2013. In this video, we're going to break down for you what's been going on in our local North Shore Pump housing market. If I'm being honest with you, the mainstream news media hasn't necessarily been lying to you, at least about the housing market. However, the factoids, the headlines that you've seen may not have been entirely true, at least to our local market here in North Shore Pump. If you've been watching the news, first and foremost, I'm sorry to hear that. Secondly, you may have been hearing or reading headlines like these: market crashing before our eyes, buyers are backing out of deals in record numbers. Number two, is the housing market on the verge of a crash? Or my favorite, record 700 billion of homes for sale, why the market is still frozen. Now, as there usually is, there is a small, very small grain of truth in these headlines, and let me share with you some factoids about what's going on with our national United States housing market at large. So according to the National Association of Realtors, so far this year, 1/3 of sellers have had to reduce their sales price in order to sell their homes. 40% of sellers this year have sold for less than their original asking price. The days on market has continued to rise, the average days on market since 2022, and inventory has steadily increased since 2021. And you might be saying to yourself, hey Chris, this kind of sounds like bad news bears. This doesn't sound great for homeowners, for home sellers. Now, before you start digging your bunker and buying gold, let me share some factoids with you about our super local, hyper local North Shore Pump market and what's going on with our housing. The percentage of their asking price that North Shore Pump home sellers have gotten has steadily declined since 2023. We've dropped precipitously, trying to make this sensational, from 102.5% of their asking prices down to home sellers are only getting 100.3% of their asking price in today's market. The average days on market has shot absolutely through the roof. We were averaging 6 days on the market in 2023. We are now at 9 days on the market. It's been very tough for home sellers out there. The amount of homes that are on the market, in all seriousness, has steadily risen since 2023. However, if we look at the 10-year graph, you'll see that we are still well below pre-pandemic levels of inventory. So we still have a lot less homes for sale than we did before we kicked off the COVID fun. So as I'm going to do always, I'm going to share 3 tips that we're currently giving to our seller clients, as well as 3 tips that we're currently giving to our buyer clients. First, seller clients, number 1, realize that the sky is not falling. Turn off the news. It's not relevant. Our Central Virginia market as a whole is outpacing most markets in the country right now, and North Shore Pump is arguably one of the better markets within Central Virginia as far as performance goes in today's market. Secondly, realize school is starting very, very soon. So if you're somebody that is wanting to sell before the kids get back in school, or you're wanting to move before the kids get back in school, realize that Henrico County schools start August 18th this year. And keep in mind, it takes about 30 days typically to go from I put a home under contract to I'm now closing on it and moving in. So depending on what time you're watching this in the month of July, you have a limited amount of time to make that happen. So I want to encourage you to get on your horse and go. I know it feels like, we're all enjoying the middle of summer right now, but your time is limited. And then last but not least, realize that presentation matters again. So we went through a period in COVID where pretty much you could throw any home on the market in any condition, in any shape, not do a thing, and you were still going to do okay. We're finding that the homes that are not presenting well are not selling as well anymore. They're still selling, they're just not selling for great prices. The folks that are continuing to get record prices for the homes are the ones that are preparing their homes well and putting them on the market, doing all the things, staging, painting, replacing flooring, moving furniture around, cleaning, things of that nature. So presentation matters again. For my buyers, realize that prices are rising. So if you're somebody that's sidelining yourself because you're saying, hey, interest rates are too high, I'm going to wait till they come down, realize that everybody and their mother is thinking that same thing. So it's going to be a very competitive market, in my opinion, when rates hit 6% or even high 5s. But realize that prices are still climbing. We didn't cover it in this market update, but we're seeing anywhere from 6 to 7% price growth in our area. So realize you can wait until rates go down, but you're also going to be buying at a higher price. Secondly, we've already kind of covered it. School is starting soon. So if you're somebody that wants to be in a new home before the start of the school year, depending on what time of the month you're watching this video, you've got a very limited amount of time to make that happen. So I would encourage you to get on your horse and go, assuming you can find a home that works for you and your family. And then last but not least, do your homework. One phenomenon I've seen throughout my career is most folks that are buying a home have to have 1 or 2 homes kind of sell out from under their feet before they kind of click it into go mode. And a lot of that's due to just because they don't have the confidence knowing when the right home pops on the market, and they just don't have the confidence to pull the trigger on it. One thing that we like to do for our clients is we will send them the past 3 to 6 months of sales of homes that match your criteria. That way you can get a very good feel for kind of what's out there, what your money can buy, and if and when that perfect home pops up, you'll have the confidence to go ahead and pull the trigger on it, as opposed to having to lose one before you get into gear. So guys, that was your July 2025 housing market update. Short and sweet this month. Hope you found value in that. If we could be of service to you with any of your real estate needs, contact us via the information below or above, wherever it might be. If you have any questions or concerns we didn't address, leave a comment, shoot us a DM, or share it with a friend. Thanks in advance. We'll see you next month.